So we're here doing a little movement session, all dedicated to our sources and opening up the pathways inside so that our sources of prana, chi, of life can flow. You're going to want a ball today and a block, ideally. And you're going to want to start with lying down on your mat. This particular class is going to be pretty simple, pretty gentle, but working with these themes of the week. So here you are on your back. And go ahead and put your feet on the ground and just lift your hips up. And put the block underneath the sacrum if you have one. And if you don't worry. What I want you to do now is kind of drop the weight of your pelvis down into the earth or the block. And start to breathe deeply. Okay, then start to breathe specifically in and out of the back of your left side of your sacrum. And those of you who have a ball, you're going to go ahead and come off of the block, lifting up your hips, put the ball now on the left side of the sacrum, and I'll come closer to the screen and just really highlight what I'm talking about physically. But once you get there, you're just going to want to drop the weight down into the ball. So yeah, working with this quadrant from your tailbone all the way to the left side. And I'm going to just give you guys a minute for rolling that space out, breathing deeply. And exploring any of the spaces there, of course, that call to you. If this is too intense, if it's too much weight, you can do all of the ball work against a wall, just pinning the ball to the wall in that part of your body. Breathe deeply. We've got a few more breaths on this side. My friends who don't have the ball, you're still just breathing deeply in and out of that hemisphere of the back of your sacrum. Okay. Now, last breath out here, and then we're going to now adjust a little bit. So take the ball out, and now we're staying on the left-hand side. Put the ball just off to the left-hand side, and we're going to work with that in just a moment. Mine doesn't want to stay. Hug your left knee into your chest and extend your right leg now. And just feel here, you might want to even roll the ankles or kind of flare and point the toes, whatever you got going on there. Now, we're going to start to bring the left knee over to the side. My friends who have a ball, you're going to pin the ball right there to the outer hip. And then you're going to go ahead and let the knee fall out to the side. And so what you should find there is that that ball is pinned there, and you can breathe and feel. If you want to go deeper with the feeling, the sensation of the ball in the left outer hip, you could actually now start to bend both knees, come up and over onto your side. And so now the ball is pinned underneath my left kind of IT band, my outer hip. And I'm just here breathing deeply. Obviously, you always have the invitation to go to the wall. And if you don't have a ball, you're just here in this really kind of lovely position and getting a stretch through that left hip. About 3 more full breaths. And, you know, I teach different length classes all week. And Tuesdays, I teach a kind of shorter class, but we'll go deeper and longer on Thursdays. And I invite you, of course, to just take any of these exercises that are great and just reuse them throughout the week, right? It takes just a couple minutes to roll out like this. All right, come back up to center and take both feet back to the floor. And now pour your attention into the right back of your sacrum. So from the tailbone over to the right, this is the area that we're honoring now. If you have a ball, you can honor that area by putting a ball underneath. And if you don't, just stay here and breathe and feel, and you're spending a minute of meditation on that right back of your sacrum, and that alone will start to open up a lot. Of course, the ball opens up even more. And if you've got it, you're just kind of exploring that part of your body. You're continually pouring breath. You're pouring your own precious resources down into your own body. Savor the breath. Every time that your mind attends to the breath, right, the mind slows down to the rhythm of the body, and there we go, right, already, integration, synchronicity between the different aspects of the self. You're gonna start to take that ball off to the side, extend your left leg, pick up your right shin and hug it into your chest. You can roll the ankles, and by the way, yes, you can absolutely do this on the block. Sometimes it feels really good to do it on the block for those friends who are working that way. You're gonna pin the ball outside of the right hip. I'll kind of pivot around so that I give you a little more visual. The ball right there, and then the knee goes out to the side. And I breathe deep, full breaths, and I just notice all these sensations. Keep pouring your awareness and your breath into the hips. If you choose to roll over onto the side, you can go ahead and make that move. And obviously you can roll around on the ball, but the real heart of the work happens because of just gravity and breath. Full breaths. Being generous with yourself and allowing the weight of the body to come down. Feel this earth. Has it ever failed you? Has it ever not supported you as a source? Right? We can build a trusting relationship with this. You'll end up coming onto your back one more time and putting the ball off to the side. That's the last time we use it in this class. Hug your knees into your chest and rock on up to sit. I want you to come into reverse tabletop, hands underneath your shoulders, feet underneath your knees, and just come on up. Now you could either just hold this just like this, or if you're somebody who wants a little extra fire in your practice today, which has got a lot of gentle moments, you could do breath of fire here. So it's big pumping breath. And it pumps through the nose. It's an even inhale and exhale. And we'll just do this a little longer. If when you need to stop or come down, go ahead. Breath of fire. Go a little longer. You're tapping into your resource of heat, of fire. Very, very useful resource to be using in our movement sessions. A little bit longer. And then finally come on down. Make your way into a child's pose and let there be some space in the shoulders in whichever version of child's pose you take. After that, work with the arms. And right now we're going through the coordinates in Nowhere Village, and we start with our sources, which are often in many, many traditions, and in a way that's very resonant for me. Our sources are often referred to as our parents, right? Mother Earth, Father Sky. And so if you can today throughout this movement practice, see if you can return to this sense of being held, of being like a child, being surrendered and trusting of the larger family, the larger caretaker support network that we have. And perhaps you have one particular source or maybe two sources you'd like to dedicate your practice to today. These could be personal sources, people in your life. This could be earth, sky. Whatever arises is probably just the right thing, and dedicate your movement practice to that today. Make your way into downward dog, the first downward dog of our practice. And just take a few breaths here, respond to the experiences inside the body, and let those experiences guide the outer shapes, From downward dog, you're going to lift your left leg up nice and high behind you. And then exhale, take that left knee to your upper left arm as if you're going to kind of get it over your shoulder. You want to kind of hug it in and get a little bit of strengthening there. Then step the left foot down and then just lower your right knee. Spend just a few breath cycles here. So we did a lot of honoring of sort of the back and the sides of the hips. And now just a little honoring of this front right section of the hip. You might also feel it, of course, in the torso, depends. Wherever you feel it is perfect, of course, because this is just your body responding, saying thank you. Thank you for honoring me. Now we're gonna come back up, an option to try to kind of rewind our steps, meaning you pick up the back knee first, hug the left knee and like you're suctioning it to your outer left arm, and then maybe pick up the foot, and then go ahead and just lift the left leg up and back. Option to open the hip, to bend the knee if that feels yummy to you, go for it. And then you'll go ahead and straighten off the leg, square your hips again, and then this time go ahead and take the left knee forward and step the foot down for low lunge. Option to take a block under your right hand, take your left arm up to the sky. 5 breaths. 1. Keep pressing down through your feet, really engage your bandhas, and then we gotta get the length before we have something to twist around. So find the length. Breathe 3. Breathe 4, and then fill this whole beautiful shape that you're in with breath. 5. Go ahead and take the left hand down. And can you now actually step back into a cross-ankled three-legged plank? I'll tell you how to do it. Left foot lifts up, and then cross it over your right ankle. Yeah, so this stacked on top of my right leg. And then just stay with this, kind of squeeze everything into the center line. Do a little tiny chaturanga dip, not big. Just kind of squeezing the legs. So it should feel pretty safe and secure in your low back. Come back up to plank pose. And then one more time, that three-legged dog. Really drop the right heel toward the planet. Then step the left foot down. And pick up the right leg. So we're gonna do all that on the other side. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, you can, first bring your right knee forward to your upper right arm. And then like suction it in, right? You're suctioning it into the center line. So I can show you that here. And then lower the right foot down outside of the hand and lower your left knee. And then breathe and feel. Give yourself permission to just totally, fully participate in this. Not the stories about it, not what it isn't, but what it is right here with your breath. And then we're gonna retrace those steps, and we're gonna maybe play with doing basically a little arm balance prep on the way. So you pick up your left knee, and you're gonna try to pick up your right foot, but as you do, you're gonna suction that right knee into the outer right arm, and you're gonna see if you can just pick that foot up with everything squeezing into center. And then you're gonna pick the right leg up and back, downward dog, and here's where we open the hip, right? And bend the knee, make a little space for yourself, feel yourself. And then straighten the leg and square off the hips. Exhale, round the right knee forward, shoulders come over your wrists, and then you step the right foot down in between your hands. We're turning this lunge into a twist. Maybe the left hand is on a block, if that feels right. The right arm reaches up, and you breathe and feel for 1. Breathe for 2. Breathe deeply for 4. Breathe for 5. Right hand comes down. And then you're gonna go ahead and pick up the right foot, and you're gonna step it back. You're in three-legged plank, and then cross the right leg over the left and kind of squeeze the ankles together, the knees together, the inner thighs together. Bring a little more weight forward to the hands, and then little tiny chaturanga dip, and then press back up, and then that downward dog with the three-legged dog. Yeah, so you can lift the right leg up again one more time, dropping the left heel toward the planet. Then go ahead and set the right foot down. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. And exhale, lower all the way onto your belly. From there, we're gonna take twisted gecko. So go ahead and take your hands wide, kind of off your mat, tented fingers, press down through your finger pads and the tops of your toes. Lift up through your chest, inhale, and then exhale, dip your left shoulder down and look over your right. Inhale, come up. And then switch sides. Dip right, look left. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, dip left, look right. Inhale, come up. Dip right, look left. Come on back up to center. Take your hands back onto the mat and then make your way into child's pose again. And yet again, maybe you connect to your sources. What are you working with today? What are you honoring? What are you dedicated to? So come up into downward dog and then go ahead and walk the feet forward to the front of the mat, and you can hang over your legs for a little bit. And then go ahead and round yourself all the way up to stand. Let the head and the arms dangle. Feel every little transition on your way. Then come to stand with your hands in prayer. Feel yourself centered here. Feel yourself rooted into the earth through the feet. Feel yourself lifted using the help of the bandhas. And our sun salutations, of course, are honoring Mother Earth and Father Sky. So we'll go ahead and inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. If you like to jump back, you kind of jump back into chaturanga. Otherwise, step back and lower either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And we'll just stay here 3 breaths today. But can you stay really feeling the rhythm of the breath? Realigning the mind with the rhythm of the body for 1. 2. On this exhale, step or hop the feet forward between your hands. On this inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold down into your legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up, 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 up. Look up. Thank you, Father Sky. And go ahead and lower the hands. And of course, Surya Namaskar, right? We're also honoring the sun. This is actually what they're named after. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. The point is, right, there's all of this responsible for our being here. Inhale, lengthen your spine, jump or step back. Lowering down as you breathe out. Lifting the heart as you breathe in. And then lifting the hips down, dog. Once we figure out that we can connect at any time to these sources that are bigger than us, we can return to trust in any moment. Big breath in. And on the breath out, step or hop the feet forward. On the breath in, straight legs, open chest. On the breath out, go ahead and drape yourself forward over your legs and let all the exhale go. Coming all the way back up, breathing in, reaching up, looking up. And then exhale, go ahead and lower the arms. Okay, so you can keep facing forward, or if you'd rather orient yourself sideways on the mat, you can, but we're actually gonna take a pretty wide stance here. So the toes are out at a little bit of an angle. You're gonna take your fists right alongside your waist. And so this is from Qigong. You're gonna take a big breath in here, then turn your palms around, and as you breathe out, you're gonna push and you're gonna bend your knees. And then as you inhale, you're gonna gather it in, and you're gonna straighten the legs, and then push. So keep this going. The legs are most important. I would start there first. Make sure that your knees are pointing over your middle toes, your second and third toes as you bend. And then noticing the hands, and I can come a little closer. Exhale, flat, palms pushing, wrists extended, and then gather in through the fists. And I want you to just do this, I don't know, 3 or 4 more times. We're removing any obstacles to us being in alignment with source. You don't have to go down as deep as I go. Maybe you know that already. Now the next time that you come up really nice and tall, really nice and clear. And I want you to just turn this into a triangle pose. We'll do one facing each direction, right? And you may decide, you know, you may not even be on your mat for this. It's okay, we're just gonna do a triangle in each direction. It should be fine, however you're oriented. So right toes point and the right hand comes down, and breathe for 1. Really press down through the feet, really engage through the belly. 2. So the heart is reaching forward out of the hips. 3. Breathe. 4. Breathe. 5. Come on up and simply switch sides. Right toes at an angle, left foot faces straight forward, then reach over that left leg, and then the left hand connects and the right arm connects to the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 5. You're gonna come all the way back up. And then you're gonna make your way down into Navasana. So you're gonna find some way to come back down onto your mat, to sit. And then Navasana, the shins are lifted. Maybe the legs are extended, that's harder. Maybe the arms are extended. The chest is open, hear your breath. Good, open heart. 3 more. Great, and then go ahead and put the feet on the ground, let the knees fall apart, Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees wide, fold yourself forward here. Hear your breath, feel your breath. For 2. Breathe, 3. 4. And 5. Come on up to sit. Extend the legs. Take the left foot. Let's take the left foot outside of the right thigh. So for a seated spinal twist, you want to get your sits bones really solidly planted. And if you want to cut the bottom leg under, you can. Right arm comes up, twist left. Breathe for 1. Stay really present with yourself. Heart lifted, hips dropped. 2. We're just here for 3 breaths. Little deeper twist, exhale. 3. Now come center and turn this into Gomukhasana, half Gomukhasana. So the left knee now stacking over the right knee. The right leg remains extended. And first we'll just do a side stretch. So take your right hand to the right and your left arm alongside the ear. So you'll drop down through that outer left hip, really stretching through the left side. Again, just 3 breaths here. How much space can you make in that part of the body? 2. And exhale, 3. So come on up and take it into a forward fold, which will actually hold a little longer. Sometimes it's really nice to have a couple blocks, maybe at the highest level, kind of up towards your knees, but on the floor, right? So you can kind of have something to connect to. If I even had a bolster over top, then I could maybe even lay my head on top. Just 8 breaths, so you know, don't go running around looking for stuff, but make yourself comfortable. Breathe deeply for 2. Feel yourself here. 3. 4. 5. Breathe, full breaths. 6. 7. And exhale, 8. Come up to sit and switch sides. So we do the twist first. Left leg extends, right knee comes up, right foot outside of my left thigh. Right hand behind, left arm reaches up, and then I'll twist to the right, gazing over the right shoulder and breathing. 1, 2, and exhale. 3. Come center. Stack your right shin on top of your left, and I should have said this for the other side, but you could do ankle to knee pose here. Yeah, if Gomukhasana doesn't work for you. First, we do the side stretch, and that same is true. You can do ankle to knee pose for the side stretch, okay? Left hand comes out to the left, right arm comes alongside the ear. Breathe for 1. Feel yourself in space. Feel the body. Pour the breath into your own sacred form, into your own inner resources. And then come up and take the forward fold now. And we get 8 luxurious breaths here. If it's uncomfortable, you find a position that's just going to work for you a little better, right? And then surrender to it. Life is, right? Your sources are, what you need is right here. We're just removing some obstacles, reestablishing connection. A couple more breaths to do that. As you are ready, you're going to come into one final pose, or maybe 2, but basically you get a minute. You get a minute to do whatever the body is asking for. It might be good to do a bridge or wheel pose, right? All that energy you woke up in the hips, letting it kind of pour down toward the heart. A twist on the back would be nice, and an inversion is always a really great thing to do. So just choose 1 or 2 poses to close. I'll be demonstrating legs in the air, one of my all-time favorite poses. And I'm letting that sacrum drop down into the earth again, like I did at the very beginning of class. And then as you're ready, take Shavasana or some restorative pose where you can just really completely let go. The most important thing is just for this last period of time that you're here, you are able to surrender. To feel your sources supporting you. Feel how no matter how heavy you get, Mama Earth has got you. She'll always hold you. That heaviness is a gift from her. Your gravity, your groundedness, your weight. Inhabit all of that right here, right now. And then feel all that breath, all that spaciousness, expansiveness. This is how Father Sky manifests inside of you, through you. Feel the space around you, that you can contact that space as a gift from him. A reminder of where you come from and what is always, always loving you. Now with these short sessions, I really encourage you, if you ever want to stay longer in your practice after I wind things up, please do. When you do finally decide to get up out of the restorative or shavasana pose, just do it really slowly and kindly. And make sure that as you close your practice, you take a moment to honor your sources, including yourself, you who showed up today for your practice and gave it your presence, gave it your all. We close by bowing down to that inner love, that inner wisdom inside of you and in all beings.